For me, missing pieces, I wanted to support you. So that was a no-brainer. That was an easy,
Thanks, friend.
Check that box. But thinking about my own history, I've not experienced it, but I have friends and a family member who have. And I thought, wow, I didn't realize how common it was. Once you shared all that information with me. And I thought, truly, that is a journey of grief, but no one's talking about it. There's no resources, or very little resources.
Some marginalized grief, my friend.
Yes.
Welcome to another episode of Elevate Your Impact, where we highlight entrepreneurs and amazing change makers that can help you elevate your nonprofit's mission. Today, I have the pleasure of being with a woman extraordinaire, from founder and owner of Amplified Marketing to Dallas chapter director for Missing Pieces, to joint venture partner with Spark and Story. The list goes on and on with titles for this woman. But my favorite title is it's friend. Welcome to the episode in the series, Anh Nguyen.
Thank you very much. And that's my favorite title as well.
Oh, thank you.
Because, you know.
All the feels.
I love you, all the things and all the feelings.
You do. Sometimes I don't always feel the love, but I know at the end of the day, there's love there.
I love you because I'm direct with you. If I didn't love you, I wouldn't even talk to you. So
that part.
When you're feeling like there's no love there, it's just, there's love.
You're right. It's the directness, and I should appreciate that.
There's love, babe.
So, Ann, let's tell the people how we met. Do you remember how we met?
And you asked me that question, and I was like, was it social media breakfast?
It was.
Right?
So I heard about you before I met you. So I heard of this thing called Social Media Breakfast. It was a virtual coffee chat. And I was telling Cammie, what I do. And she was like, oh my God, you should connect with Ann. She is like the nonprofit's go-to. And so we connected, and I felt it was like magic. It was like, oh my God, she's right. I needed to know you.
Yes, I felt the same way. And thank you for reminding me that, because I couldn't remember if it was in-person social media breakfast or the coffee. And you're right. Yep. It's a virtual coffee.
Yeah.
And something about you. And I was like, I want to connect with this woman, Jamilah. She seems pretty
with the crazy
cool.
hair.
And immediately, exactly, I felt this, really just connection. You're going to hear that word a lot on this episode, y'all. So.
Yes.
But beyond that, even though it was a virtual meeting at first, I really felt like you were this person that I could have this relationship with, and this friendship with, and this collaboration, and who knows what would happen.
Right. Oh my gosh, it's so nice to hear that feeling was mutual. I was like, oh my God, I'm about to level up knowing this lady. Aww. But what was I going to say? So, one of the first things we did was an interview on your platform. You remember that?
Yes.
Me and my awful internet access, but we powered through. We powered through.
We did.
And we've done some other amazing things since. So many founders have a pivotal moment or a why that drives them. Can you share the personal or professional experience that was the catalyst for starting what you do with Amplified Marketing?
Yeah, absolutely. Both of my parents were entrepreneurs because we were refugees. We came over right after the Vietnam War. And like many immigrants, they started their own businesses because that was the quote unquote easiest thing. My father in Vietnam was an educator. He taught math, but he wasn't able to do that here. And so what was the solution to really supporting his family and making sure, he had 4 kids, had to feed us, had to put us through school. And he went off and got a job with a HVAC, so air conditioning, heating repair company, and learned the trade. And after 5 or so years with them, he decided he wanted to start his own business. And my mother had already had a trade in hand. She had been apprenticed at the age of 16 to a tailor. So she had learned, I know, right?
Wow.
Can you think about what we did when we were 16?
Not doing that.
So she learned that trade, and she was a very talented seamstress, tailoring. She was very well known in the Vietnamese community here in Houston as well for the traditional dress that we have. So
let me just say, you had some tall shoes to fill. And
I did. And my parents, like many immigrant parents, wanted their kids to go to school, wanted to learn, and then get a good job.
Bar of excellence.
Get a good job with a company, and then not have to live through that ups and downs of being an entrepreneur or business owner like they did. Well,
sorry, Mom and Dad.
I was always
not sorry.
I was always the one that kind of bucked the system for them because I knew that I always wanted to have my own business. I just didn't know what. So I did the thing. I went to school, worked the job, but I did not feel fulfilled. And so that really was the catalyst. And then I got into advertising and marketing and saw kind of the evolution, because I'm going to date myself. Back then, we were still using fax machines and newspapers.
Yes.
And things were starting to move online. I went, okay, this is where it's going. This is where the puck is going, right? To use a hockey analogy, which will make my significant other very happy. And so I really invested a lot of time in making sure that I learned digital trends, digital tools, because when I went to college, that wasn't a thing.
Oh my God.
We still have hardback textbooks.
Yeah, when I was at school, we were having to go to the library to use the computer.
Yes, exactly. Right. Much less this whole digital world of marketing and advertising.
Yes.
And then in one of my career paths, I was in sales for a number of years, and I met this gentleman who became a really dear friend. And he was also the impetus for me to really invest and learn all things digital and online, because he was so into that space. He had gotten a graduate degree for it, and he was also my biggest supporter at the time. And unfortunately, we lost him unexpectedly.
Oh, sorry.
And it was very, very difficult that year after we lost him, because not only was he my biggest supporter, we were starting had started a business together. So I had to decide what I was going to do. And once I made it through that black hole of grief and came out on the other side, I decided I'm still going to continue with my goal of having my own business, but now I had a path forward and really, again, continue to dig into social media, all things digital marketing, and started my own business and launched that in 2015. Okay.
That's great. Yeah. So I've only known you as this marketing extraordinaire. And, we've gone down the path of figuring out how to work together. Mm-hmm. Should we share, or would you like to share more about our new venture in Spark and Story?
Sure. And it's very similar to kind of, how did we meet again? We were having these conversations about, oh, you're doing this and you're doing that, and it's such great work. And you have long worked with nonprofits, and you knew that I was making that shift to working with purpose-driven brands and really helping brands to understand what that even means, right? So we thought, oh, how can we really collaborate even further? And I think this was over tea, probably, right?
Yes, it was.
Lovely tea shop.
Yes, I remember my tea very well.
Yes, it was beautiful tea, a cute little tea shop.
Yeah.
And from there, Spark and Story was born. We are still working on it. It's a
work in progress.
It's definitely a work in progress, but I cannot wait to see the day that we fully launch it and offer
all
of
the things.
All the things.
Yes.
But regardless of who comes through and says that they want to be involved with it, I know that you and I are still the core of it. And that's what makes me happy, is that this collaboration with you.
It's almost like you're the spark and
there we go.
So together we'll make the bookends, right?
Exactly.
Well, as we both know, working with mission-driven organizations, nonprofits, comes with its own set of challenges. Is there a particular story or situation that you can call to mind that is quite common in our community?
Oh, goodness. Are we talking about nonprofits, or are we talking about small businesses who are purpose-driven? Because they tend to have the same challenges. they're there serving the community they want to serve, right? In the nonprofit's case, or in a small business's case, they're building the widget, they're selling their solution, their service, but they're not really sure how to tell their story,
right?
So that people will, their story will resonate with who it is that they want to serve, and also attract people who could possibly buy from them and be their customers or clients. And I think that's the biggest hurdle and challenge, because when you talk to a nonprofit and you ask them what's their purpose, their mission, they can tell you right away, we serve so-and-so to do so-and-so, right? They have this outcome, but the in between, the stories of how they do it is missing. And that's what donors and volunteers and people who want to support the nonprofit want to hear and see.
Yeah. Even the success stories, like they don't really know how to show those on.
Yes.
In a meaningful way, because they're just so zoned in on the mission and the serving.
Absolutely. And same thing with, just business for-profit brands as well. I feel like as marketers, we talk about storytelling so much. It feels like we're talking about it ad nauseum, but there's still a lot of people and a lot of businesses who don't understand what that means. And so I guess job security for us.
Job security for the win. As I shared earlier in the introduction, you are the Dallas chapter director for Missing Pieces Support Group, and we are so thankful for you to be in that role, expanding our presence in another community outside of Houston. Tell me what that means for you and some of the highlights of that opportunity.
Absolutely. And I absolutely, I appreciated you asking me. You knew that I have a heart for nonprofits and try to serve in some way, shape, or form.
Yes.
And also it was great timing. I had rolled off a board, so I had a little bit of capacity. But also I was doing a lot of connecting and networking in Dallas already for my own business. So it was an easy extension of that conversation. Because I think as business professionals, we should be supporting a nonprofit cause anyway.
Yeah.
And for me, Missing Pieces, I wanted to support you. So that was a no-brainer. That was an easy,
thanks, Fred.
Check that box. But thinking about my own history, I've not experienced it, but I have friends and a family member who have. And I thought, wow, I didn't realize how common it was. Once you shared all that information with me. And I thought, truly, that is a journey of grief, but no one's talking about it. There's no resources, or very little resources.
It's a marginalized grief, my friend.
Yes. And I don't know why people who have not experienced it don't think of it as a grief journey, as a loss as well. I think because, it's been a few weeks, or it's only a couple of months since you've been pregnant. I guess
it's a societal thing.
There's a disconnect.
Yes.
And so I share this story because one of the most pivotal moments for me so far, even though I've only been in this role for a few months, I was at an expo for nonprofits recently, and it was held on the grounds of a school, a university. And this young woman who could have been no more than 19 came up to me with her friend, who was very quiet, and said, "I'm so glad that you're here. I just went through this myself. And I feel all alone because my friends are dismissive about it because I was only 9 weeks along." But to me, it was a loss.
Right.
Oh, I texted you that morning and I said, that one conversation made the whole day worth it.
Yeah.
And I immediately gave her one of the care packages and, shared our website and other resources. And I just thought, wow, I was in the right place at the right time.
Yes. You're going to find a lot of more opportunities that align with that in this space and in that lane. Yeah,
absolutely.
Because there are so many women looking to be seen.
There is. And I've shared with you even just the stories of at the chamber where I'm a member on behalf of Missing Pieces. Immediately, I had 2 or 3
This is an amazing chamber of commerce, by the way.
Richardson Chamber. The Richardson Chamber of Commerce. That's Richardson, Texas.
Yes.
in all fairness, chambers have not really been my thing in the past.
Mm-mm.
But
when you said chamber, I was like, oh boy, here we go.
Yes, you and I have the same. But I visited, and they were so warm and welcoming. And within just that first visit, I had already met 2 women who shared their story of having gone through a miscarriage, and one had a stillbirth, or lost their infant very shortly after birth, actually. And I went, oh my gosh, right? So, and it just immediately I felt like at home with this group. And so I joined, and they're doing amazing things for us. There's a pillow drive. No, it's a pillow making. We're not even doing
it's a service project.
Yes. It's a sewing circle. That's what it is.
There you go. Community. Yes.
It's community. And it is being led by one of the women who had shared that she suffered miscarriages after having had her first healthy child. Right? And I've had several other businesses, also part of the service project, already commit to being collection points for the items that go in the care packages. And from that conversation, I realized that one of the members, who is an acupuncture practitioner, they serve a lot of clients and patients who are going through IVF.
Absolutely.
And so when I spoke to his staff member who oversees that group, she was like, oh my gosh, this is fantastic. I mean, she was so excited to be able to have these resources for them. And I went, okay, this is, just continuing to have these connections or make these connections, and hearing people be excited about having resources available for women and families. I even had, at the last chamber meeting I attended, I had one of the visitors, who was a man, said, I have an idea for you. Not that I'm trying to tell you how to run your organization, but you really need to consider the dads too, because he was a dad who had, and I said,
he said, but sir,
we have support groups for the dads. And so I think we are doing a fantastic job of covering the bases for women and their families.
Absolutely.
And so when I talk about it, I always say women and their families. I don't, the partners and the dads.
That's my spiel too.
Great
minds think alike.
That's why we are friends.
Yes. But I mean, that commerce is so amazing. And I'm so thankful that they have wrapped their supportive arms around you and are just propelling our mission.
This chamber is fantastic. So yes, for those of you in the Dallas area, Richardson Chamber of Commerce.
Find them.
And I'm going to tell them that, I am like plugging them out here.
That's right. So you just got back from an amazing experience called Content Marketing World. And for those of you who are not in the marketing community, it is like the conference of all conferences to go to. And my friend here was a presenter. One, I want you to tell us what that experience is like. I'm kind of jealous, but I'm so happy for you. But from that experience, what trends in marketing stood out to you as especially relevant?
Oh, absolutely. So this was my 5th year attending Content Marketing World. I got to be recognized as a superstar because it was my 5th year. So
did they give you a star?
5. I got my name on the big screen. There's rotating slides that go throughout the convention center. But yes, Content Marketing World is one of the largest conferences, events for content marketers and marketers in general. I think we had about 2,000 people attend this year, but typically it had been 3,000 to 4,000.
Okay.
So I think part of it is moving it around the country, and it was in the West Coast. So, who in the East Coast wants to fly across the country?
Yeah.
But it's, I was so excited and just humbled and really super nervous. I speak all the time.
Yes.
I don't really get nervous.
There's no shame in your game.
But I was super nervous about this because it was a workshop. So it was 90 minutes that I would be spending with my peers and colleagues. And I'm thinking, what more do I have to teach them?
Yeah.
But my focus was really on either defining or refining the purpose for their brand, because there are so many for-profit companies who want to really have that as the backbone of their brand, but they don't know how to go about it.
Yes.
And so I created, activities and worksheets about not only figuring out what that purpose is and creating a purpose statement that would complement their brand statement. And then we went through a few other activities that would help them create that framework for content around that. Because we were at Content Marketing World after all. And oh my gosh, it made me so happy to see everybody in the room really embraced this. And there were several who said, oh, this is perfect timing. We're going through this with our company right now. This is fantastic. And everybody was working and doing the exercises and activities because I was worried. I thought they were going to go, this is a bunch of, whatever. And so what a wonderful experience, and to be at a national conference as a speaker. This is my first national event to speak at.
The first of many, friend.
I hope
and
so.
And I knew your content and your topic was going to go well because, one, you practice it. I was one of your guinea pigs, right? But as a business owner, I know that I don't take the time that I need to figure out how to market myself.
Yes.
I'm so busy marketing the clients. And so you set aside intentional time for these people to be able to focus on their brands and how they communicate it to other people.
Well, and I think it tied in really well with the theme for Content Marketing World this year. It's breakthrough. And as marketing professionals, there is a lot of noise out there. And
for sure.
How do you, as whether you are a for-profit brand or a nonprofit, how do you break through all that noise and show up so that people know who you are? And that's through having a purpose.
So, Ann, we've got another venture. We are more than excited to have you as our featured speaker at the next Sunday Social event. And Sunday Social is a space for nonprofit leaders and communities to come network, connect, figure out, how we can support each other. There may be future opportunities to collaborate with some of the people that you meet in the room and elevate your impact together because you serve common communities, right? But we also always offer an educational opportunity, and that comes through the featured presenter who is an expert in their space. And of course, is an expert at marketing. So we are using the theme from vision to visibility so that she can share some practical things and items that nonprofits need to go through to forward their mission. There's a question in here somewhere. And without giving everything away, could you give us a glimpse into the message that you plan to share that day?
Absolutely. And I want to take a step back because I think I forgot to answer the last part of your question about
Go back.
Content Marketing World. AI was very much a part of the conversation this year at Content Marketing World. In the past, it had been a track we'd done here and there. I mean, to the point where there were the running joke was kind of like, AI. Yeah, we get it. But there were some fantastic speakers who shared about how to use AI intentionally, right? So I feel like AI is still very much in this camp of people who, like me and you, who are like, yes, we love it. It's a great tool.
Yes.
We have to be intentional about using it. We have to be mindful about these things. And then there's the camp of people who are like,
nervous.
Oh, yeah, what, how do we do it? And then there's the camp of people, very few now even, they're like, no, there's no way I'm using it. Well, guess what? The ones who are saying there's no way I'm using it is going to get left behind. And I love this point that someone made. It's not AI that's going to replace your job. It's going to be the people who know how to use
that's
AI
right.
the best that are going to be replacing your job, replacing you. And so that was very much a huge part of the conversation. What also really made me happy was that there was a track for purposeful marketing that had expanded quite a bit this year at Content Marketing World. Nice. So I felt like, okay, I'm on the right track of being this advocate, this ambassador for having a purpose-driven brand. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to highlight those two things as we go into this next part of the conversation about what I'm going to share with the nonprofits.
Yeah, don't give it all away. Just tease them a little bit.
Again, we talked about storytelling, yes. Right? And how difficult it is for most nonprofits and small business owners. And I'm going to share a little bit of, tricks, tips, insights, and we'll talk about tools to use as well for storytelling. So that's my little...
That's your plug?
That's my little sneak peek.
Come join us to find out more. You're going to need this.
Yeah, because without the good stories, you're not going to be able to attract.
You're not going to be able to make the change that you want to make in your space.
Well, yeah, you can't attract donors, stakeholders, all the groups that you will need to make the change in the space that you are serving.
There you go. So in all these many different leadership roles we've dubbed you with, You're in your nonprofit lane, you're in the joint venture lane, you're in founder and owner of a marketing list goes on and on. There's got to come some powerful lessons out of each of those experiences. What is one overall theme or impactful lesson that you've learned being in those leadership roles?
Do not let your ego keep you from learning.
Yes.
You cannot possibly know every single thing. As much as I have, made every effort to learn over the years, there's always something more to learn. And so I don't mind going to things that may seem like, oh, that's so basic, Anne. Why would you go there? I'm like, because there's always a nugget or two, or something's updated. Because as you know, in the digital marketing world, and especially now with AI, it is changing. I can't even say the speed of light. It's faster than that. Mm. And so that's one lesson that I would like people to remember, that there's always something to learn. I don't call myself an expert. I call myself a practitioner.
Yes.
Because I'm still practicing my craft continuously. And the other thing is that I don't ask people to do something that I would not do myself.
Right.
I'm a leader. I'm leading by example. So I would not.
That's another great call out, because as a leader, you do have to be vulnerable and humble to learning the new things.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so funny. And I hear you say this and I appreciate it. Absolutely.
You're welcome.
Calling me these, like the founder of these leadership roles. And I don't view it that way. I don't think, oh, I'm a leader, I'm going to do this. I'm like, oh, I see something. I want something to happen. I'm going to make it happen. And as you know, I couldn't find really the right community in Dallas. So guess what? I'm launching it. I'm going to make it happen. And if that's leadership, then
that's exactly what it is. Because most people don't think like that. They'd rather just sit there and complain because it doesn't exist. Instead, you've chosen to do something about it. Well, and that's why we like you and we love you.
Well, it's so funny. The AMA, the American Marketing Association, is represented quite a bit. And it was one of the sponsors at Content Marketing World.
Yes.
So I went up to the leaders and was like, what's wrong with your Dallas chapter?
Oh, you had a complaint.
So they
put in the complaint box.
I was like, y'all are the people I need to talk to. Well, the CEO or the president of the AMA National was right there. So of course I'm going to take advantage of it, right?
Yes.
And so they're looking.
What did he say?
They were looking at me at like his staff member went, what do you mean? I'm like, I cannot find the community. I cannot find events. I cannot find resources. I'll give you the example. Houston's fantastic. All this stuff, right? There's all these resources. There's always activities.
Crickets in Dallas.
And she goes, I'm going to connect you with my chapters person, and y'all can talk all about it. And she goes,
oh my God.
And she then goes, well, you can make it happen. I said, I don't have capacity. I have enough things that I'm making happen already. I'm dependent upon somebody else to do this.
I need your person to be the change maker for this
piece. So yes, as we talked about how I'm directed, if there's an opportunity, I'm going to go find that person that I need to talk to.
And make it happen.
Yeah.
I love that about you. Well, Anne, I've enjoyed our time talking about these meaningful, intentional things. I feel like we just had a conversation that we would have had anyways.
Absolutely.
But just in front of a camera. Thank you for making it that easy. And we'll see you guys on the next episode of Elevate Your Impact.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, friend.
Love you.
I love you too.